Hello, everybody. Here we are.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Welcome to Worcestery Council Theater 3000. Let's kill that. Here it is. What's happening, everybody? Bill, how are you?
Oh, I'm just great. I am just fine and dandy. I got a whole new fancy setup
Look at this setup.
where I'm watching the stream on my TV like it's a television program.
This is beautiful. You guys, this is what our sponsorship with Crafty Kombucha gets us. This luxurious new setup.
Luxurious. Yeah, I'm a real streamer now. Next thing you know, I'm gonna be doing a UFC fight that's rigged.
Bill, will you
banging German porn stars?
Will you stream Elden Ring on our channel?
Gladly. I don't know if I know how. I'll just point my camera at the TV.
No, I'll bring my capture card to you. We'll set it up. It's gonna be great. Yes, everybody.
You can guys see me suck shit.
Welcome back to another episode of Worcestery Council Theater 3000. Big ep tonight. We got a live one. We got Bouldergate people.
That's right, Bouldergate.
Somebody is asking the city to put a big rock in his yard because people keep driving at his house.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. That's in the part of the agenda that usually goes by without any sort of conversation on individual items, which is a shame because I'd love to hear the city councilors pontificate on whether or not a rock is effective in stopping traffic.
And if that's the case, then let's get rid of our traffic lights.
Just right.
Strategically place rocks everywhere.
Yeah, that's right, everybody. If you go to my Substack, you can see Malt Slutzman for city manager, a hilarious application for the job. He's out for blood.
Yeah,
he wants to be the most crooked city manager that's ever existed. So
the caption on the photo that leads the story is exceptionally good. A photo of Mulch that's been doing crime. It's nice that somebody's willing to do it out in the open, you know?
Right. Yeah, I know. We need that. We need more of that energy, I think.
Yeah. Very excited. Let's bring in our permanent guest. Ladies and gentlemen, you know him, you love him. There he is. Brendan Melican, everybody.
What is shaking?
What's up, Brendan?
I'm really rooting for this guy with the boulder because if this does just kind of slail through like you're saying it's going to, Bill, like we all are going to be requesting giant rocks in our house, right? Like once that precedent is set, I'm going to start going door to door saying, look, all you got to do is ask, and they're going to give you a big rock. It's going to change everything about the city of Worcester.
Only fair.
I'll get one just because. I mean, it'd be great if it worked out that like the DPW actually had to go out and find a rock and like drop it off at his house. Here's your rock.
You're gonna meet code.
Yeah. Very exciting.
What other nonsense do we have tonight?
Yeah, what's big on the agenda, guys?
We have Cedric Arno requesting that the city stop spending its ARPA money the way that it is and spend it the way that it's intended. They're going to ignore that. Yes. Then we have a report from Joe Petty on the way that they're going to go about giving a contract to the interim manager and doing a search. Then Tu Nguyen is asking for more community input into that search process.
Hell yeah.
I'm sure that'll go just great. They won't be gaslit in any way about how they already do enough public input or anything like that. Sarai Rivera is asking, what's up with the chief diversity officer now that we're changing hands? Is that going to just disappear now? And then Kate Toomey, hard hitting. She wants to announce Dispatcher Week. The city of Worcester celebrates all the brave men and women who tell the cops where to go.
Those are the people that use Microsoft Paint to put little Hitler mustaches on the mayor, right?
That's true.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yes.
They deserve a week, but they haven't had a week in a long time.
Yeah, they have not had a week. No, it's.
I mean, they're often having a week, but they have not had a week.
And then we have a report on past timelines for how they went about hiring their past city managers, which is pretty bullshit. But I don't know if they're necessarily going to talk about how bullshit it is. And then a little bit about facial recognition as it relates to drones. So,
Sick. All right, so some
well,
good
that's
stuff
what's going to round out the meeting. We have an executive session that might come in before or after the meeting starts to give Eric Batista his contract, but I'm not sure when that's going to happen. So,
hell yeah. Well, a pretty full meeting, but you know what? Fuck all that, because we have a very special guest here with us tonight. I'm very, very excited that she was able to join us. She's the CEO of Redemption Rock Brewery. She wrote an exceptional op-ed in Worcester Business Journal last week. Danny Babineau, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, are you ready to bully the mayor with us?
Joe's a loyal customer, actually.
Yeah, okay.
It doesn't mean you can't bully him.
Yeah, well, then he needs you more than you need him.
Actually, to be fair, Joe probably comes in the most of anybody on city council or in most of city government right now.
Well,
hell yeah. Well, that's never been the problem. That's not the problem with Joe Petty. It's how much he
I like
partakes in our local businesses. We
Yeah.
love that. Danny, I just want to, if anyone hasn't read your op-ed, we wanted to bring you on. I mean, it is a shot across the bow at us, members of the inner circle. So
I didn't want to name anybody, by name.
It was specifically mostly us that you were.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah. When he
Mostly
talks
Bill.
about the shadowy, unaccountable cabal
Yeah.
of people who run this city and how you'll never have access to them, that was about us, right?
Yeah, and I appreciate you guys then making the gesture to have me on, even after.
Yeah. Right.
Hey,
this is how we bring you into the fold.
Right. Am I in the inner circle now? Is this
Yeah.
it?
And after we get on the stream, it's going to be real eyes wide shut kind of shit, if you know what I'm saying.
Password is Fidelio. Yeah, we're gonna co-opt you. So
that's fine.
good. No, I really like. We wanted to have you on because honestly, in one page, you said it better than any of us could. And if you could, for anyone that hasn't read it, can you just kind of give an overview of what your thesis statement was in that article?
Sure. So, also thank you. I wrote that while getting my flat tire fixed. Which everybody keeps saying, "Oh my God, I loved your article," and that's the only thing I want to respond with is I wrote it while I was sitting at CNR Tire getting my tire fixed. But yeah, I mean, basically, I had a lot of thoughts, and I had 3 or 4 different thoughts that essentially I ended up going with the one that I felt was the most meaningful and the one that I could gel around. But essentially, I don't really care about what Mike Angelini and Tim Murray and the other guy who I forget what his name was from Worcester State, I guess. I don't really care what those people who are the power brokers of the city are doing, because it doesn't really affect me, and maybe it does in some ways that I don't know about and are probably fucking me over. But I care about who's out here doing real work and who's doing things that are meaningful to the city. And part of, I think, what Worcester's problem tends to be is that we have people in charge and people who are making decisions who are there because of who they know, and not because of they have really great ideas, and not because of what they're able to actually do. And so the city tends to lack inspiration when we try to do things. And so I'm really interested in what people are doing who are actually helping, the community and helping real people and working for real people in this city, rather than just giving a handout to their friends and trying to make more money.
Yeah. And that's 100%. I think the big factor is that, we talk about the people that are, all doing all this stuff, but what are they doing? Yeah. And what effect are they actually having? And I think Maria Ravelli had a quote in the same issue about the free fridge project, and how a lot of people said a lot of supportive things and were there when the cameras were around, but what did they actually do to get it off the ground? And have they helped at all? I can't see that many people have. It seems it's a groundswell kind of a thing, and that's where actual stuff that benefits the community gets done.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like so many people try to get by on like, oh, their name and position and whatever, but like, what have you actually done?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. It's not what have you done for me lately. What have you done for me ever?
Yeah. like, or done for someone at least who like, how have you helped this community and pushed this community forward in a way that is about, the people at large, not just your buddies.
Yeah, or developers.
Yeah, which are their buddies.
Right.
Do traffic boulders in the middle of Salisbury Street count? Is that
it's on Salisbury Street?
Of course it's on Salisbury Street. Where else could you possibly request a giant rock for traffic calming measures?
Yeah. Salisbury Street's the only street that like really matters for the Worcester City Council. So if they want something done, it's gonna get done.
Yeah, because if they don't live on it, then the people that give them money do. So.
Exactly.
A guardrail would not be aesthetically pleasing in the middle of the Salisbury Historical District, right? So you just need a giant boulder.
Yeah.
Just wait till someone builds a pool, and then like when they have to dig a hole, grab a boulder from there.
Yeah.
Why do you have to go to the city council to put a rock in your yard?
Just find a rock. This is like an entire subset of like BuzzFeed is like people who like got revenge on their neighbors who kept driving on their driveway, so they put a giant rock at the end of the driveway and disguised it as like a snow pile.
That's what we should do for this guy. We should order the rock.
Just put a rock.
We should have a rock. We should have a rock drive.
Every time I drive by, I'll just throw a rock.
Get the biggest rock you can find and bring it to his house and place it in his lawn. I think we're talking about community-based solutions, and this is the perfect example of that.
That's what we call mutual aid.
Yeah, exactly.
We're all in this together.
Marcus asked if we have any extra rocks to donate, which is an excellent point. We paid for our rocks.
Maybe we go get the real redemption rock and put it on top of this guy's car.
Yes. What that's theft from another town, which I support. More thefts from surrounding towns.
Yeah, we have to take what's ours. And we've co-opted Redemption Rock as a Worcester brand now. We need that thing here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While we're at it, move Plymouth Rock. That would probably be a great yard rock.
That'd be way easier. That thing's tiny.
Plymouth Rock is whatever's in the ground.
So yeah, it's we're gonna have some fun tonight. We're gonna be talking about all these issues throughout the stream. Travis, have we gone live yet? Have they?
No, they just have their title screen up. Nothing yet.
Cowards, they're afraid of us. Is there any?
Toomey's afraid she's gonna cry.
Is there anything that's gonna make her cry tonight?
Who?
Well, if her petition to have Dispatchers Week doesn't pass, then she might throw a fit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
what do you guys think? Do you think anyone would care enough to stop that?
No.
How many pages into the city payroll list do you have to go before you get to a dispatcher?
You got to get past every single cop, which is 1 through like 150 on the highest page. Besides, like, there's maybe 6 people on the top of that list that aren't cops. Digging through it today, it's absolutely wild. Yep, we have a new highest paid employee of the city of Worcester. His name's Lieutenant Towns, and he made $20,000 more than the city manager.
Good for him.
He made $100,000 more than he did last year.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Imagine 100,000. Well, I mean, I guess with inflation, that about checks out. But yeah, imagine $100,000 pay raise. That's incredible.
Yeah. It's crazy. There's a whole section that just says other.
He's probably one of the crossing guards at Polar Park.
That'd be great.
That's why he got so much more overtime this year.
Yeah, I mean, between the nurses' strike and Polar Park, the overtime is just ridiculous. Yeah, but $300K for being a police officer. I mean, that's a lot of money. Is what that is.
Yeah,
one
of
the most medium dangerous jobs in America.
Sorry if your school has black mold in the basement.
Yeah, we
have to pay our cops $300,000 a year to sit in their cars while other people work. So.
To do the job that teenagers do in most other states at work.
Right. Yeah.
Probably lives at Holden.
Definitely lives at Holden.
is
I don't even
friendly
want to look it
with
up.
Aiden Kearney.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. They get lunch. They talk.
Yeah. At any business that Aiden is still welcome at, which maybe is a lot in Holden, but vanishingly few outside of it, I think.
Mm.
Still not live yet. What are they? Every
Did
week
cancel?
They're doing the pledge. I'm working on it.
Oh, cool. All right. Oh, well, we can't miss that.
Wait, I watched this last week, and I have a question about city council meetings now. So I'm glad I'm on here to ask this question. Did they sing last week?
Some of them sing.
They do the Pledge of Allegiance and the Star Spangled Banner every single week, and they play the same recording of one of the high school choirs, I think.
And some of them sing.
Yeah.
And some of them sing, yeah. And I think also there's
Some
a
of
lot of
them-
people in the gallery.
Hey,
Councilor Bergman. Here. Councilor Calorio.
Chumi sings
Councilor
it.
Here. Councilor King. Councilor Carlson.
A couple other people
Councilor Nguyen.
will actually
Councilor Rivera.
sing it.
Councilor Rose. Councilor Russell.
Here.
I've
I've listened to that
Mayor Petty.
recording so many times.
It's
I can
the city council
tell you
approve the minutes of the city
which
council
notes they're
meeting on
pitchy
March
on.
29th, 2022.
It's
Those in favor?
Full so awarded.
Oh, Joe's got his mask back on. Interesting
Oh, I have
development.
no idea what that fucking guy is doing.
When he comes on, we'll do that.
He's not fun to pay attention.
Public participation, person may
figurative
speak for
isn't
no
even
more
correct.
than 2 minutes.
Maybe he has
And
to.
And also, yeah, come on, like who would be,
you have a petition, you can speak for 3 minutes.
Sean Rose has COVID.
Joe's mask makes him look a little like a turtle.
Speaking on TNC, glad to see
Interesting.
that the city of Worcester is thinking.
Adela
about
Hazard, I
having
love you.
the
No
city
Frederick Nathan
manager
this
and
week,
the
though.
Cabinet look into
Wow, they must have had a fight.
training Foundation, training for trauma, resilience, and racial equality training, very important for the city. And also the orders 11A, looking at how to figure out how to hire a new city manager. And 11A, looking into what is the best way relative.
Is she just reading the agenda this week,
find a new
or is
chief
she
diversity
commenting on it?
officer. The
I do.
city
I
has been
love how
lacking,
like
and
I'm
her
not
angle-
sure.
Yes,
it,
I,
it breaks my heart.
yeah, I just
And
love how much she
people out
looks like
there are
Estelle Getty,
talking
and I wish she was like
about
insulting people
this.
like
The city has been
Sophia from
going
Golden Girls.
backwards, paddling backwards in a rowboat with one paddle. And it's time that we catch up.
Bill. I think you're on a delay.
Oh,
I don't know what to say, except that we need
Born-
to catch up.
born
We
back
need to
against
put a
the
better
current.
image out there. We need to send a better message. When I
Bill's
speak
microphone
up
cable is
and
too
I-
long with
I-
his new setup,
I
so we're
talk about
this
the
awful
difference
delay
in
now.
men and
Taking forever to
how
get to him.
the police department was given permission to join the police department, a terrorist group, when we already have had problems with the police department. Then I go downstairs to get out the front door after I already complained about it, and it's on the city charter that the front door stays open until the meeting is closed. That is in the city charter. Mr. Mayor,
Oh yeah,
you
she
told me
did get
that would be
she got
taken
caught in the
care
building
of.
this week, right?
Last week, I went out.
It's like 3
She
times.
was the
She's been locked
one?
in the foyer. Oh
Sitting
yeah.
at a table. And when I went to
Sorry
go
about
out, they said, oh,
I
sorry,
think she's doing it on
dear.
purpose.
The
Okay,
gate
can you
is
wrap up the
closed.
comments?
You do this every time you don't like what I'm saying. You tell
No, I
me
know.
my
I
time
only
is
do
up.
it. I've given you
So
2.
in any event,
I give you a couple
in
more
any
seconds.
event,
Go
Mr.
ahead.
Mayor, the door was closed again in violation of the city
Okay, I hear you.
charter.
I will find out.
So every time you
Okay,
don't like
I
what
think
I'm
you're-
saying,
No, you're done.
my time
Okay.
is up.
Okay, your time is
but
up. Can you show
The
some
city
respect to
charter
us, though?
is in violation.
Please,
And
thank you.
I almost
Please,
missed
thank
my
you.
ride as
Thank you. I appreciate
out.
it. Okay. Our
And
next
I'm
speaker,
glad
Does
please.
not appreciate it.
Forward.
Please. Is the police officer out there?
No, he's stuck in the
Okay.
foyer.
No, we're good. We're good.
They shut off her mic.
God,
Okay.
It is true. He treats people differently. That
Of
is
course
true.
he does.
She did go way over 2 minutes.
And here's Cedric.
Arno requests
I want to hear this.
City Council requests the city manager to cease and desist from making any further decisions concerning awarding and or allotting awards to a vendor, contractor, subcontractor, business agent, nonprofit entity, college or university, and or individuals that will potentially receive any and all monies from the ARPA funding. And this was left off until a new city manager is sworn in. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate your comments and on this, but I think we're going to.
Oh, Frederick was late. He missed
money. We need to
Idella.
spend that money quickly and get allocated, even if the city manager's still here. It's going to be done by the public too. So nothing's going to be signed off on that probably until it goes to the community meetings. So.
The reason I did it, I just want to push the city council to do some work as far as pulling the city managers. I don't know if you're going to put a job description together or some type of contract for the city manager that is currently sitting in since last week is still not going to be addressed.
Okay. Thank you. So we can file that. All those in favor?
Last
Opposed?
fall,
Board?
for anyone that wasn't here for it, Cedric actually had a petition in front of the council to use ARPA dollars to make $10,000 payments to every black family in Worcester. Personally, love anything that's even remotely resembling like a UBI program, but he's been pushing that pretty hard as opposed to, like body cams and other stupid nonsense.
Last week at the Public Works Committee.
All the way for that.
And the purpose is for someone.
Yeah, we 100% should do that.
Representatives to come out to 28 and number 30 Hartshorn Ave to look at the conditions of the sidewalk and the sidewalk sections that lead out to the.
This guy's energy is killing me.
And this is Duda. Several years ago, a large tree came down on Hartshorn Ave and caused some of the damage in some elevated sections because of the sidewalk. So thank you very much.
You watch these all the time, but you can just make petitions for anything.
Oh, yeah.
Anything?
It's really a missed opportunity. I mean,
yeah, we should gamify this somehow.
That's a great idea. I'm so glad you're here. That's amazing. We're
how many people are watching this? See how many petitions everyone can submit.
We do have a few folks who are on a virtual
Yeah.
platform.
If you file a petition, you are rightfully allowed 3 minutes to speak too.
Or press
True.
star 9 if
And
you're on
then
the phone.
and then Joe Petty can just say I appreciate you, and then you can get pulled out by a cop.
Yeah, and that's that.
Mr. Famous for like a week.
Hi, Ricker. I'm City of Worcester, or City of Residence Worcester, 7 Clifton Terrace.
Yeah, but
apartment
Doug
2.
gained notoriety.
So I'm a young adult with
True.
lived experience
Infamy.
of housing insecurity, and I'd like to raise some concerns and questions.
I'm gonna
about
go and
28,
read
28.
Malt's application for city
So I'm worried
manager.
about the personal privacy,
And then get
safety, and
arrested.
dignity of the housing people in Worcester. I know that police departments across the country are forcefully removing and destroying the property of homeless youth and adults living in encampments. And I know that technology like drones facilitates that violence. So just because that's becoming normalized in other communities in Massachusetts doesn't mean that we need to jump on that bandwagon as well. It's a huge red flag to me that service providers working with communities and homelessness advocacy groups haven't been invited into the discussions given the impact it will have on the community's stability and safety.
That's a very good point.
And
Nancy.
about the use of the drone, I'm wondering what the restrictions, policies, and procedures are going to be placed to oversee that from the city to protect vulnerable communities such as the houseless community, and if other city departments are going to use the drone as was talked about in the meeting last week, will they have to ask permission from WPD? Why is WPD owning the drone if it's going to be used by the entire city? And last
we
week,
could have a community drone.
mentioned that
I
they would
love
be
a community
performing
drone.
outreach and engaging with the homelessness
You just want to see what's up on top of
using
buildings.
this tool,
Yeah.
and I'm wondering what specifically that means. Will they be reporting information about
See
the
if all those
location
wiffle balls from
of
elementary
to
school
service
are still on the
providers,
roof.
or are they handling outreach themselves? And does that mean arresting people or forcibly removing them from encampments? Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, the next speaker I can identify is Chris Bates. I'm going to try to unmute Chris now.
Yeah, thank you.
We lost Chris.
Oh no.
Hello.
There you are.
Yours, sir.
Yep, I'm a City of Worcester resident. I'm also calling in support of what Phoebe had just said, and I'm just overall concerned. I definitely appreciate some of the drone usage, but I think that the statement around the houseless community is kind of broad, and I definitely think that
I still kind of feel like nude sunbathing guy from last week still has the most valid point to be against a drone.
Insight. I think that will be helpful.
Maybe that's. I still think we should fly a drone over the police department under like 24 hours a day.
That it could cause on rapport, and also just general usage around the houseless community. If it wasn't such a broad scope statement that the quality of life would use it for really anything. I just wish it was more defined what the parameters of the usage for the homeless community, but the other usage around it, like being useful for fires, is obviously something that could be helpful for the city.
Give it to the fire department.
Yeah, why can't
I think we need to get more insight around what parameters the usage of the drone is when it comes to the houseless community.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Mr. Mayor, I think that brings us conclusion to the virtual public participation.
Thank you. Okay, next item
Dalmatian.
is open the hearing for the National Grid for the condo location on State Street. Motion to open hearing. All those in favor?
You know what sucks is somebody from National Grid has to be there
Opposing the National Grid condo location
every time they do this. And he just sits in the back of the room until they get there. And they always do it after public participation. So, like, there's just a guy that doesn't give a shit about any of this. That just sits in the back of the room until this item comes
9A and 9D refer to the Department of Public Works. All those in favor? Opposed? So ordered.
Oh, for
9E
sure.
to 9H refer to the planning board. All those in favor? Opposed?
Yeah, they'll just find whatever cop likes video games and be like, "Oh, this guy, he's the guy."
I'm really curious about Joe wearing a mask now. Do you think he's positive too?
9A refer to Public Works. All those in favor?
That'd be pretty wild. Just like,
Ordered. 9L, 9Q refer to
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like maybe he's just concerned. Maybe he's a close contact. But even if that was the case too, he shouldn't be there.
I'm guessing he thought he was concerned he was in close contact. Oh, this video is frozen too.
Those in favor? Opposed? So ordered.
Protocol would be
10A to 10F. The motion is to adopt.
also quarantine
Those in
until you
favor?
get
Opposed?
negative tests.
Councilor Rivera?
Is he still wearing his wristband from opening day? Is
Speak
that what's on
really
his?
quick on this, Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to see if I could just speak on.
It's like when you went,
10A
when you go to Warp Tour and you wear the
They're different, but
wristband
together
for like a month and a half.
So first, I know that we wanted to appreciate everybody's support last week regarding Public Health Week.
That's a
And
cool
we
dress.
Had,
City
one
Council
of
fit.
the films
It
that
is.
would be really great at some point to bring the one directly from the
And that
CDC,
huge ring.
was really important and see how we're getting
There's a lot going
national
on here right now.
recognition, which is really great.
Her
and
hair
really
looks dope,
great for
too.
us as a
Yeah.
city. And Jen, in relation to
good
10B,
Yeah, she's a shoe influencer
this
now.
has this Trauma Resiliency and Racial Equity Training Institute. It's one of them is starting
Yeah, but
now in April 28th.
That feels
I would just really like to encourage
irresponsible.
council and as
You
well
could have got a
as other
negative at
folks
home and still waiting on a PCR.
other
True.
folks in the administration.
Or just taking daily
I
at
would
homes, which is
consider,
kind of
you
the
know,
drill these
taking
days.
this training.
My work just
You
shut
know,
down
I
for a week.
heard really
Yeah.
good things about the training.
Multiple COVID positives.
And I feel that
I've
as
gotten at
we're-
least a half a
as
dozen
we
text
move
messages in the
forward
last
our
24 hours
commitment
from friends
to
who tested
diversity and
positive.
equity, and actually really
And
working
Yeah,
not
I've got
like-
a lot of people in my life who are sick and just
you
keep
know,
testing
late
negative.
academic
So I
work
think
and
there is
that
some other
racism
stuff going on
work.
too.
It's really important to understand it. And so I think if we have this opportunity to have within our city.
I mean, if that's the case, if
training
it's just that he has like norovirus or just doesn't feel
I
well,
know that
I
it's a
love the
different
idea of wearing a
cohort,
mask
so
for
it'll be
that
coming
reason.
up again.
Like, we should
Maybe
definitely
we can, when it does,
formalize that
I'll have
type
them
of
try
thing.
to share it and send it around.
You should have
to
joined from
council
Mo Bergman's
members
car.
as well as other elected officials, because I think it'd be really helpful. And I'm really excited and to be able to start it this month myself. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow.
So
Only
those
like
in favor
2.5
of
minutes.
ordered. We have our orders. I request that the council proceed forward with the selection of the permit manager by initiating, completing a process for and selection to include appointment of the ad hoc committee.
They're freaking flying right now.
Brendan, can you send the link to everybody?
I'll be
Brendan-
happy to. Yeah. So that
Brendan found
I dug up that shirt was it's part of the spring collection from Talbot's this year. It actually there's a matching skirt that's available. So yeah, let me send this along to everybody. We should get everybody on the show wearing that.
That'd be so cool.
And
That's what I'll take off when I streak across Polar Park with their campaign slogan written across my chest.
Where the heck is it? There it is.
I think you should have a banner flying off the back of you.
Yeah, Marine for Mayor.
Have a discussion if people want to come to that.
There was a Unibank banner flying over the Worcester today.
People like me love Marine Benenda when they're naked and crazy in front of all of her voters.
So, Mr. Chairman, we're referring to MO?
Yeah.
Okay.
Those in favor, opposed, so ordered. We are on, okay, this next one, we're going to change the meeting. That the City Council, City of Worcester hereby amend its schedule to cancel its May 17th, 22 and the May 31st.
Hey, Travis, could you pull that link out of the private chat?
Finance meetings relative to the fiscal year 2023 budget. Further,
No one was nominated to do any boards tonight. Me especially. I think it's pretty obvious that I am just not going to get nominated to either one of the
if things
boards.
don't work out, we always change them again.
And that's just a shame.
Just the times, and second to be
I wrote a whole resume.
We usually start at 4 or 5.
So, Mr. Mayor, the purpose, sorry, just for clarification of the council, the purpose of this order is just to cancel the city manager calendars. There's 2 city manager calendars in the month of May, I think one in the month of May and one in
Yeah, I
June.
want to be in the freaking tree club.
Council still keep
I just noticed Ed isn't there today.
I was going to say no Ed tonight.
Maybe Ed has COVID again.
He was at the baseball
The
game.
budget meetings, we'll send out the schedule once.
Maybe everybody has COVID again.
We haven't done that yet. This is just to cancel the actual city council meetings.
Also, Hank Stoltz looked like he was in sub-zero weather with his hat and his high coat. It was like a nice spring morning.
Mr. Mayor, I think.
A little rainy.
Roll call on this, so we can amend the
Rainy
schedule.
first.
Roll call.
Councilor Bergman?
Yes.
Councilor Calorio?
Yes.
Councilor Agia?
Yes.
Councilor King?
Yes.
Councilor Mauro Carlson?
Yes.
Councilor Nguyen?
Yes.
Councilor Rivera?
Yes.
Councilor Rose? Councilor Russell?
Yes.
Councilor Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty.
Yes. 11D, request manager, request solicitor, provide city council to report to what effective competition is.
Maybe they just haven't announced the board yet. No scandal updates.
Yeah, you'll know.
You'll know when I can say anything. 'Cause I'll be paid.
Bill will have it on a banner, and he'll be streaking across
from
the hall.
a number of constituents regarding myself. Cable bills going up, and they seem to always go up, but they seem to be going up more and more these days. Under the law that as I
Just call and
understood
cancel,
to me,
Mo.
that
It threatened to
cable rates
cancel and they'll
are
reduce the rate.
unregulated in communities that the Federal Communications
But
Commission.
then, how are you supposed to waste everyone's time at a public meeting?
I looked
You
up
thought of that?
I'm gonna start calling Mo with all my complaints. But Mo, have you seen this credit card bill? Like, I need an order in front of the council.
So expensive.
What's City Councilor Mo Bergman? How come 99% of mail is trash, but the remaining 1% is of life-altering importance?
Increases could be regulated.
Can you fix that, City Councilor Mo Bergman?
You know,
in this subject because the cable bills just continue to go
oh,
up.
a good way to regulate the price increases for cable and internet
Maybe
service would
legally
be
they
a
have the right to
municipal
be a
broadband.
monopoly,
You fucking
I
idiot.
don't really see you pushing
assume
for that one too
I
hard.
also think that the benefit of those residents that are paying these.
Kate
bills
Toomey actually loves to wink at people. She probably did.
Mo is adamantly opposed to rent control, but big fan of cable bill control.
Yeah.
If you crack that code, you'll be a champion in the city of Worcester. But Councilor Rivera?
Yes, I think I just want to commend Councilor Bergman on this. I just wanted to say that, one of the things, I don't know if they're thinking like that some
When
of the
I used to have to
competition
sit
is,
back there
you know, from
behind, pretty
streaming
much like
companies,
behind
but
where
one of the
Sarai is,
things that I hear
and Kate
this a
Toomey would
lot
always
is,
wink at me,
you know, in our senior
Did you wink back?
population,
say
you
something.
know, they didn't grow up with the same
Oh
technology
my God, dude,
that we
I
see
don't know.
kind
I
of
can't figure this
prevailing in
sound out. My
the
laptop sucks. I don't
Gen Z
give a fuck.
kind of
It's just, I'm
community.
here.
And so
No,
I don't
you're
know if they, so they
the
still depend on
you were
kind of the
having
cable,
delay
like
issues before. You
those
sounded
entities,
amazing.
you know, might help the system like
The internet
come up.
was slowing down on you. Your
It's
video
like
actually was on
so like
time.
that's
Was
like
your
really
sound was
foreign.
coming
So,
in
but
20
for many
seconds late.
people, that's still a way of doing, Mr. Chairman. And I think
And now I think it's
for
just
this
that whatever is on
population,
the
it's
table,
very
we're
problematic.
picking
They're
it
on a
up a little
fixed
bit. It's
income.
not that bad.
There's no
Don't worry about it.
regulation. And yes, they get like somewhat of a little bit of a discount apparently from cable, but it's still not enough. And it's something that I hear often when I go to neighborhood meetings, especially when I go to the senior towers. And it's just very concerning because for many of them, this is where they get their information. This is where they get the news. This is where they watch even council. You know that many people now, since we started the Facebook Live, has
That's a
been
great
really
question.
informative, but many folks aren't really on social media in this age bracket. So it
I
just
mean,
continues to
no,
be
I
really
I
concerning. I
can't
really
see
appreciate
how.
this item.
There's no control over the city manager, so he could essentially do whatever he wants while
Thank you.
he's in
We'll send
there.
that to the manager. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Of course, if the manager work with the WRTA administrator to provide city council a report to the number of buses that are handicapped accessible and the number of vehicles available for paratransportation, and if best practice methods are used to determine the same. Councilor Bergman and Rivera.
Yeah, I don't think
Thank you, Mr.
Batista
Chair.
would be bound to
This is
do
another
anything at
item,
all.
and you know, thank Council Rivera for making me aware of some of the comments she's been hearing regarding the paratransit. But I just think there's a lot of information regarding the WRTA when it comes to these types of issues. And I'm looking at, I think we all
I
would like
don't.
to know exactly
Well,
the number of buses
sort
that
of.
are handicapped
My girlfriend
that are available for
owns a home, and I'm
paratransportation.
allowed
I
to
actually
sleep
had
over
somebody
whenever I
email me
want,
recently telling me that they had some family member that needed
as long as I
medical
pay half the
attention.
mortgage.
WRTA and WRTA told
Having the
them
best of both worlds right
that
there.
portion of WRTA was not fare free, which is not correct. So there's a lot of
Yeah, I didn't. Just
misinformation out there. This is
we both agree
one
that
of
she'll get sick
several
of me
items I've asked
eventually, and
for, and as
you
chair
want
of
to use
the
her the
transportation
leverage to
subcommittee, I'm going to move
boot me
forward
out
and
of
have
here
a
when she's
meeting.
done.
But I've got to be honest, if the manager's here, I would certainly share with him my frustration. I haven't seen a report back, so I think what I'm going to do is just ask. We actually have asked that we just set up a meeting, and hopefully the information.
I mean, that's
catches up
a danger.
but if I keep waiting for the information, then I'm never going to
But
have a subcommittee.
hopefully
meeting.
the pressure
It's
stays
too
up.
important of an issue. There's
Seems like
actually
the
rumblings now
tide
that
is
I hear
turning
that
on
the
the
city
municipal
responders talk
the
about
municipal
that maybe disappearing at the end of the year,
broadband
and I
thing a
certainly
little bit.
am supportive of keeping that. But we need to have a lot more
Please
conversations
don't tell
about
people
some of these
this.
issues. On my way around the city today, I happened to have seen a couple WRTA buses that were absolutely empty at bus stops. And
This
I'm
is
not
an extremely good
suggesting
point,
the
Molly
ridership
Cronin.
hasn't gone up. I certainly hope it has. But I think I've always said we could do a lot better with gas prices over $4. There's certainly people that need paratransportation.
Now, yeah.
So the information
Wait,
is
Mo
going to come.
Bergman's pro public transportation, expanding public transportation options,
The last
and
couple weeks,
and municipal broadband.
it's crazy. The last couple weeks, he must be
want to send that to
freaking out.
subcommittee?
I think
Have,
he's really scared. 'Cause he's been
subcommittee
there's been a couple.
I have heard him say that he is the diverse part of the city council before. So
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Chair to the council, correct.
I
It's
saw him
scheduled
get
for
questioned
the
on whether or not
15th
he,
of May,
you know,
if I'm
he
not
was
mistaken.
concerned about the diversity of
if you want to
city
send to the
council, and he said,
administration
"Well,
and
you
make
know, I'm
informational,
Jewish."
the order
So.
to the subcommittee as well, or because this is an ask for the
That's true.
administration. to bring
It
back
is
to-
true.
As long as it's available to the
Yeah.
subcommittee, that works.
The way you
Mr. Mayor,
live
Mr.
your
Mayor,
life
if you
and
want to
wield your
recommend, send
power
it to the
feels.
administration and then informational purposes.
He also really wanted to have a fundraiser with
Councilor
us,
Rivera?
which that didn't happen.
Yes, really quick. Just, I had this conversation with.
Hey,
Councilor
Jack
Bergman,
Murray's back.
As chair of public
Hi,
health,
Jack.
this has come up to my attention, and I just want to
Obese
say from a
man.
personal perspective, I got a call from a
Some
nurse.
teen lingo that we didn't
So
know
is
in
Nico
Worcester.
filling the role of the
Basically
manager
what's
tonight?
happened just this, I would say this past like between month and a half. has
Seems
happened
like a
twice,
missed opportunity to
where
not
they
have
needed
the
the
recently
hospital were
announced
actually
acting
called,
city manager
um,
put on like a
and they
demo,
couldn't get
just
a
sit in the
company
chair or
in
something.
Right, if Ed couldn't make it.
to pay.
Yeah,
Even, like,
technically,
him,
shouldn't he
they
be? He's
couldn't
the
get a
assistant.
company.
Right.
There wasn't
Well, he
enough
has to be
buses
there
Yeah.
available. There wasn't
to
enough
sign
buses
his
available.
contract.
it was just really.
They're
it was
gonna
really
like
a
bring him
difficult
out to
situation,
fanfare in a
and,
cape or
I ended
something
up
when he signs his
working out
contract.
with a nurse
He was so like
company,
adorably
private
nervous
medical
to
company
answer
that
the
actually
simplest question in the
volunteered
world last
their
week. He's
bus
gonna get
and
eaten the
time
fuck
to
alive
actually
by these
provide
people.
access to these two individuals. It
I'll
really
tell
is
you my
a-
least
it's
favorite
just
city
an issue
councilor
that I heard
mostly
Hell
because
yeah.
she's
that
my
probably
city
around
councilor,
the
which
school, we
is
probably
Candy
have
Carlson.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Candy.
actually right
She
after hearing that, I
is
called
for my home and my business.
Ah,
And
two
she
birds.
lives down the street from
and I was on
my
that committee.
Dan,
and
my
that
business
just,
partner.
it's kind of a combination of
And she
public
never
health
shovels
and
her sidewalk
transportation, and
either.
I'm glad when
Wow.
I really
Wow.
do. It really
That's
Yeah,
needs to
private
go.
information.
yeah.
It really is affecting significant.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you know that, but District 2 is
Thank
the
you.
economic
Thank you.
engine of
So
Worcester.
Senator,
So
manager and
we're not
informational
really
purposes
supposed to
of the committee.
question her.
She's
In
been to
favor,
my business
opposed, so
twice, and
recorded.
once was for a Hank Stoles thing, and the second one was for the dog festival.
Request the
And
manager
that was to
conduct a
support
purpose and
someone
department
else,
response to the
and she left in a
nuisance
huff.
issues, including trash concerns in the neighborhoods along
She got very
Belmont
upset
and
and
Olga
yelled at
Ave
people.
and Rodney Street. Councilor
Yes.
Merrill Carlson.
Yes,
Speaking
Mr.
of.
Chairman. I think
Yeah.
that we all know that Earth Day
Also-
and a lot of the neighborhood cleanups take place with the different neighborhood
That's
groups.
amazing, Travis.
These are areas where they
Those should
don't
go on her campaign posters next year.
have
She's gonna-
a neighborhood group. And a lot of the property owners have reached out to me and talked about
Candy hates
that
dog.
there's a lot of dumping that's taken place up in that area. So
She
we
talking about
were
Lakeland Sig?
looking for some help from the administration.
You thought that's where you're
go
supposed to
up
take a
there
dump.
and clean up these.
It all ends up there anyway.
Obviously, there's many more in the city that needs help. But at this point, these folks have
Oh
reached
yeah,
out.
we gotta get
repeatedly
we gotta get
about
inside
getting
out.
some help up there with
Candy back up
hopefully
there.
that we can
in the bank.
clean this neighborhood and these.
Oh, yeah, also, we decided
up there. So
somebody needs to run against
it would
Candy
be
next
great
time.
to do this.
I'm too
Thank
busy
you.
for that shit, but we decided that my husband, Greg Carlson, should run, and then it'll be Battle of the Carlsons, and hopefully some people will just get confused.
Oh yes, that's such a good idea.
Well, speaking of leaving in a huff, I've heard that she is not running for D2 next.
Really? Oh, well, she's all mad because she got disrespected.
She lost. She got 40% vote taken from her from Joanna, and I think she's scared.
And she got booted from economic development.
Exactly.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
But she might run. She might run at large, but she's not running
up
for D2.
there as well as the
That's
principals.
actually really
I can
smart.
D2. I can do it.
Parents up there.
Yes.
are really
I could run a really
concerned
funny stunt campaign.
over
I
the
think.
traffic patterns up there.
And then you might get
Abolish
actually
the police
elected.
department.
Almost on a weekly basis.
Danny, don't people call Greg Candy too?
Getting hit by a car or almost
Only
getting
special
hit
people.
by a car. So we're actually looking for
Only the inner circle.
traffic study up there.
Oh, yes, we
Is
can.
there a different traffic padding that we could use? Some had suggested maybe coming out of the school that people not being able to take a left-hand turn coming out of the school, or maybe, is it a right-hand turn? So Council Rose and myself, in talking through this, thought that probably the best way to approach this was to have a traffic study done up there. But really, I know that even the police department, I believe it was last year, did a study throughout the city on all of the schools with public safety in terms of traffic. But this area up there is just becoming more and more and more of a nightmare because
What is this
obviously
about?
there's
I have
more
no
and
idea.
more and more
Burncoat.
traffic. But the way
People
I'm
that
just being
traffic
soothed
pattern
by like the
is
sultry,
it's really a
rhythmic
danger
pattern
to
of her
kids that are
voice
going
and the way she
to
talks.
both
I'm getting
middle
put to
school
sleep.
and the high school. So that was the
It's like it has a
reason,
very like every sentence has like the same sort of like rhythm. It's very meditative. I'm Candy Merrill Carlson, and I think what's going to happen over there is it's great.
Acting City Manager Eric Batista's term begins. Council Rivera. Council King after that.
Yes, really quick. I'm just kind of piggyback off an item that Councilor King.
I'd pay for Candy Marrow for reading Good Night
And
Moon.
just, I think that one of the concerns that we're hearing, that I've been hearing in the community, and I think others might be as well, I can speak for others, is
Danny, we're
you know,
having
what's
trouble
gonna
hearing you.
happen, you know, because surely,
Oh,
you
I think
know,
I was just. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I just had my hand in front of my mouth.
you know, we said, you know, don't
I was
worry, we're
biting
going to
my
be
nails.
picking up the pieces, you know, we're going to be continuing the work, and it's, you know, Eric Batista. And so he already had like urban and technology that he was doing and kind of being stretched in as assistant city manager, and then taking this piece.
Don't
But
worry,
when
the
he
Boulder
becomes,
thing hasn't come up yet.
interim city manager, that's going to take pretty much all
Oh,
of
we're
his
way
time.
past the Boulder
And I
thing.
think that we have
Are
to
we not?
be
Am I confused?
ready and equipped and prepared to
Did
be
they
able
do it?
to
I didn't
tell
hear it.
I didn't
No,
hear
they,
Boulder guy.
it's that.
you know,
That's a
this
part of the
this
agenda, like I said, that they just don't
still
talk
very
about.
seriously. We care. This is
Oh, they're going to
important,
talk
and we're
about it.
making sure that we have a
Oh,
plan.
I don't know.
So I think the same way that we are
Am I confused? I might be
pre-planning for
confused.
the city
Sorry, I have to type
manager,
on my keyboard. Give me.
we
I'll
also
mute myself.
put a plan in place when Miss Williams left to be able to say that Eric would be stepping in temporarily to make sure we didn't kind of like miss a beat on that. I think at the same time we need to take a look and be actively planning for that, because you know, some of the feel in the community.
Your work sounds
is
awful.
Yeah, that's horse shit. She
how
does live for
serious
the
are they
state.
taking this chief diversity officer position? You know, do they really care about that work? Do they really care? You know, it's kind of it's concerning, and I think that the same way that we were talking about putting the community at ease with positioning Eric as interim or active
Yes, I
city
think that,
manager,
yeah.
which I fully support and fully understand. We need to do the same. You know, there's a lot of work that was being
Because Eric's
done,
currently CDO
and that needs to continue
Yeah.
to do. And so I think we need to
and
really
something
make
else,
sure that we're putting our
and
heads
something
together.
else.
The same way that transition happening, that we have a transition for that position.
The heir apparent as
Figure out
well.
kind of what's
Mm.
happening now, and especially now, I'm sure that there's also some attention where Eric is probably to some level,
Well,
some
Mergman,
level of
you'd have
like
to tell us your real name.
training. Whatever he was doing is kind of maybe probably more on steroids now, as he's getting ready
Wow,
to get
Eric
into
Batista's
that
on
position as
steroids,
well.
confirmed
So
by Soraya Rivera.
again, it just shows our commitment as a council that we care about the diversity and equity work.
Now that the nurses' strike is over, and I'm sure the eagerness for overtime will not go away, they should offer police the opportunity
Thank
to
you,
go
Mr.
into the
Chairman.
manager's office and do some busy work, a little bit of
Just,
filing, and
wanted to sign on to this.
It's true.
And appreciate Councilor Rivera's specificity here as it relates to CDO. As I mentioned last week, the importance of a detailed transitory operational succession plan from the outgoing city manager is important. You know, the community, I think the folks on this council, I know the office of the city manager and the mayor, we're all, you know, want to be the best we can as a government. And, you know, currently, the soon to be acting city manager is wearing multiple hats: Director of Urban Innovation, Assistant City Manager, Chief Diversity Officer.
Yes, he's spelling them out.
And soon to
Plus
be
a bucket
acting.
hat.
And we know that in our departments, there's a bit of bareness in some of our departments. So it's going to take a lot of effort and focus to operationalize. And I know
So
that we're
Eric's big thing that I've been told that his pet project is getting digital kiosks all around the city to tell people what's going on.
What if there's not much
do
going
as
on?
well as he has during his
What if
tenure.
we have? What if we have
Just,
so much stuff
again,
going on that
just want to
like
highlight the
we just need the
importance
kiosks
of us
instead
as
of
a council being
You
able
just
to
like
do
have the same photos like rotating
that out
through.
as well.
Actually, so
So I'm happy to
this
sign
building,
on
I
to
live
this.
downtown, and in the freaking lobby they
Extremely
have like
important. You know, and I
TV
think
about all
Chelsea
cool
that,
things that are happening, and
you know,
every
and,
single one of them is in Boston.
we all
I'm like,
manager,
y'all, this is not
soon to be
like
acting
we're not
manager,
in Somerville right now.
you know, current city manager. It's just
imagine if we had the technology where you could have a device in your pocket, and when you pulled
Right.
it out, like there'd be
Yeah.
like neat things.
It's like a mall kiosk. He wants mall kiosks
That's
all
like-
around the city.
Oh, there he is.
Ed.
He's in quarantine. That's all.
An
Like
order
two-
from last
two
week
doors
that,
away from them.
This is pre-recorded.
Soon to be acting city manager
Strong
and I are
pre-recorded
working
vibe.
jointly to provide a memo to the council on the manager's calendar, the 26th.
Did you guys ever play
That'll kind of
Roller Coaster
outline
Tycoon or Zoo Tycoon?
all of these transition issues as we work
When
together
you-
to identify the
when you start
various
your your
projects
amusement
that are
park
in
and that the
process
first
that
thing you
we
can
want to
buy
make
is
sure don't
kiosks,
fall through the
and why
cracks,
would
and
you ever
certainly
do
the work
that
of
in
the
that? So why would a
diversity and
real city
inclusion
do
is
that?
at the top of that list. So I appreciate the priority the council places on this, and I share that, and I know the assistant city manager shares that, and so look forward to the 26th for a kind of outline of the transition strategy to make sure everything is handled very smoothly and nothing falls through the cracks.
Council King?
Thank you. I just wanted to comment.
That's
I know
Yeah, that camera angle is very first time on CNN vibes.
encouraging the administration and us as a city to move.
That's a very, very good question.
Diversity officer. I just want to be
We
clear
should
that,
find out the answer to that.
this isn't about kind of rushing and checking.
Everybody
box.
should email Ed Augustus
We
and
have
ask
to
him why he went to the
absolutely be
baseball game
intentional
if
and
he has
look at,
COVID.
what has or hasn't worked. I think consultants, I think we might have voted on a consultant or something like that. But
Yeah, great games.
Just want to make sure that folks don't misunderstand our intent. Thank you.
Okay. So we'll send that to the manager. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Request that the manager provide council the report concerning the Worcester Police Department's curriculum for the cadet program. Council Rivera.
Yes, just really quick, Mr. Chairman. I'm really excited about this cadet program. I think part of what we've started talking about was really looking at making sure that we were, again, this commitment to increasing diversity, really looking at, a diversity of women, communities of color. And so I think one of the things important is to take a look at what that curriculum for the cadet program is looking like. It's different than being in the police academy. So it'd be really interested making sure that the cadets are getting.
Isn't Kate a cadet?
Experience, because if one is in one department, one is in another. Also, I think
She's a little
her
plastic
sash
badge.
on under her blazer.
As you're bringing
Hall
them
monitor.
in,
Yeah.
Totally a hall monitor.
Honorary hall monitor.
Most of
She seems a little down tonight. She's
um,
exhausted from being
program that is
hazed
placed,
by the
whether it's,
police
police or sheriff or
as she's trying to join their
like
ranks.
state troop is very militarized, and I think that could be very intimidating, especially when we're looking at communities of color. I think it's going to be really.
I think a
important
good idea for everybody is every time we have a long Sarai Rivera monologue, you just go and take a nice break with a little crafty kombucha. The only ethical consumption under capitalism. Everybody.
Thank you, Council King.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to sign on this as well. I know, again, myself and some of my colleagues were able to attend it's not the police academy, but the civilian academy, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's good to learn the rules of engagement, but I think this is a timely order. I know that I am aware that we already passed something. I think something went to committee on this, but I know that I think there's 5 candidates. I think there was a diverse group, 2 women. I think 2 women and some folks of color. I know that the Black community was not represented there. And I really hope that the department and the folks working so hard on this, I've seen these folks out, like I said, at all sorts of events, take a look at, the lack of receptivity in that particular population and try to work through it. Thank you.
Thank
Do the civilian academy graduates get overtime?
Those in favor?
Possibly, yeah.
First, the clerk, with the assistance of the city solicitor, provide council with a report relative to the process of placing a binding question.
Just imagine how much the instructors
Charter change. Councilor Russell.
Mr. Chairman, it's no secret that I would like to give the people of the city of Worcester an opportunity to vote on whether they want to elect the chief executive officer of our city, as opposed to having a city manager appointed by the council. But that's not specifically what this order is about. What this order is about.
That's the correct response.
That's what his family does every day when he comes home. Oh, right.
Right.
Give us the information on whether it's even possible to put it on a ballot anytime soon. I had some conversations back and forth with the clerk, and there seems
Literally, you were like
concerns
passionately saying that we should just give him the job immediately.
I think it's important that the council has the information from the clerk.
He was drunk then.
That was drunk George.
In 2020.
This is high George to this
on the
week.
ballot or on another ballot that'll be handed out.
Doing
at the
edibles
same
with the
time,
South High kids.
Whatever it may be. I'm looking for the information from the clerk, and then
The fact that no one runs against this guy.
have a conversation about it.
Yeah. Can we get maybe a minute to include all alternatives? So the new
Who lives in
council-
his district?
There's an old
We were trying to figure that out. Who would be a good?
Sarah Shagru, I nominate her. I know that she lives over there, works for the Greater Community Community Foundation.
Here we go.
Sarah.
Information about other options that are available besides.
Yeah, I mean, I think we
council.
should. I think
Voting.
no seat should be unchallenged.
No, that should be a rule.
We're just saying, asking for the report.
Laying it all out
If
there
two
so that
people aren't
the
running,
community
then
and
no
members of
city
the
councilor.
will know what their options are.
Okay. Send that to
Charter talk is starting to make Joe
clerk,
nervous.
the law department, I think, and all those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Of course, the manager provide counsel to staff update concerning new school safety plan for features, a school liaison officers, including interim memorandum of understanding between the city and the school department. Council King.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I know that school committee member Jermaine Johnson filed something similar to this on the school side. On the city side, I have similar questions. I want to kind of know where things are at with the MOU. I know
Very
that,
weird when they do things. It's like how Dare is just a program where they bring in a suitcase full of drugs and teach you how to use them.
Yeah, but not properly. Like they give very bad advice on using drugs.
Well, because cops are nerds.
So that folks know how to engage with one another.
As someone that smokes a lot of weed, I've never got propositioned as strongly as they suggested I was going to. Like, it's hard to get weed at parties sometimes.
Know when to access.
Well, it's like the whole watch out at your kid's candy. There's going to be edibles in there.
Right.
Also,
Who would do that?
No.
For training.
Let's
of our,
throw them a
of our-
party.
of our police officers as relates to their school responses. Again, clear roles. This was supposed to be done in January of 2022. The responsibilities with Worcester Public Schools and Worcester Police Department with input from the task force, meaning it's to go back to the task force. I know there's been some discussion that there's going to be some things.
Back to the drugging
that would be
kids thing.
signed off
I'm
on.
waiting for like a targeted
But,
attack
it's
where
important.
one neighbor's CBD
Well,
bombs
you know,
another,
we're-
like their
we're
neighbor's
certainly,
kids, just to get a peaceful morning the
understanding
next
the
morning.
domain and the responsibility of school committee versus city council.
Watch out for
it's our
Travis.
Worcester police force that we're asking to engage. And they need
So
to
I'm
know
not
those
invited
terms
back
are.
next Halloween? Okay.
And so, you know,
The number of things that they're bringing up just tonight that are going to be
part of
falling on
this,
Eric's
MOU
lap,
is having,
like
an
there's
interim
no reasonable way
MOU
why he would
and
want this
then
job.
over the summertime. creating more,
Yeah, do you think he was the one pushing for the acting over interim?
well-rounded MOU. And
Are they going to pay them overtime to sit outside of school? We'll definitely have a $400,000 a year cop next year. They can just.
You know what's funny is
that was supposed to
is Augustus quitting before he has to hand over a budget.
That was to be completed as well.
The budget's due in early June, I think.
So yeah,
right before.
So
That's
if-
awesome.
just wondering
What if he
through
throws
the
in
chair,
just a
if we
bunch of
have any
crazy
sort of
shit,
opinion
and then
now,
it's
do I
like,
have
"See
to
ya."
completely wait for a report, given the fact that, you know,
But we should get in his
this
ear
stuff
about that
is,
water
you know,
slide.
folks are responding and engaging.
What's that?
We should get in his ear about that water slide.
Yeah, the water slide and the zip line, especially if they're taking down the Denholm building. The Denholm building was always the one structure that was going to get in the way from the zip line from the airport to City Hall.
Assistant City Manager answer this question for the councilor.
I'd like to have kind of just like a big tunnel in the middle of whatever they replace it with. It'd be nice to live there too. You living on like the 6th floor, and every once in a while, just a naked guy comes flying by on a zip line.
And
As long as they light it.
The MOU.
Like
Hold on,
the
guys.
tunnel.
We got Eric
The
Batista talking.
MOU currently
Oh.
right now has been
he is
back
there.
and forth in terms of draft modes back and forth between PD and the Worcester School Department. Currently, as of last week, the school department has the latest draft, and so they're reviewing it and will provide the latest kind of final draft to me for me to review. And I think that's where we could take it back to the task force.
Yeah, she can say whatever she wants about that, but if she's trying to keep her job there, she's not going to say anything that's real.
You know, and
No, I don't want it.
Sharing
You know?
communication and all that is extremely important. I know that
That's what I say when I
I'm
get turned
watching
down
the
too.
School committee meeting last
Yeah.
week.
Yeah,
Superintendent.
who needs it?
I didn't even want to go.
Did that on the floor.
I actually wanted to kind of stay
and
home today,
use,
have a quiet night to
and just
myself.
want to bring this forward, and would like.
I wonder how Augustus feels that caught me more than
kind of the final process here.
That's why he's quitting.
This is something that we've spent
Yeah,
a lot
it's
of
true.
time on.
That would have been right about when he was
We
preparing.
want to make sure
that,
we have everybody's
that
interests
document.
met, and that we're engaging and performing to the best of our ability, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, send that to the you want to file that? You want to send that to the manager or
To the manager, please.
Send it.
Which one?
Council Tooley?
Kate's just yelling out into the universe.
Our mic is off.
Take a hint, Kate.
Kate Toomey is my favorite, I think, from an entertainment perspective.
Yeah, she's great. She's always got some sort of thing that's wrong with her that she's complaining about.
Yeah, have you bought anything from her Etsy?
No, not yet.
You gotta get on there. She
There's
needs.
there's like an Etsy strike going on right now.
True. Yeah. Hey guys, don't buy anything from Kate Toomey's Etsy this
Not this week. You gotta wait. You gotta wait.
11th to the 18th.
Yeah, they're screwing her on fees, so you gotta wait.
I know you guys are all dying to buy stuff from Kate Toomey's Etsy.
Just go to her house and knock on her door.
That's it. Yeah, you buy directly from
This is
the
certainly,
maker.
The unsung
I wonder
heroes
if she's on Etsy strike.
Our public safety department.
What does she sell again?
These folks
Like
are
masks,
constantly,
which
she's making
working
masks.
very diligently to communicate.
Kind of
with,
over. People are in
citizenry to
N95s or
ensure that
nothing now.
the information is relayed.
Also pillows. You can
And
get
very,
pillows.
often
Pillows
are
tracks.
Yep.
incredibly stressful
Some sequin ones.
times for them as well. They don't.
Did she do one of those like
get
up
recognized,
one, like you
and
like
I think
slide
that
up and
this is
down?
really important.
Yeah. Those are
And
nice.
They realize that we
one side it says
understand,
Blue Lives Matter, and the
what
other
they
side
are as
says
a
Blue
cause
Lives
of
Matter.
and certainly.
I find it really hard to believe that there
gratitude
isn't already a
for all
national
their hard work,
dispatchers week.
especially over the past year.
Like that might be the only profession that doesn't
I
have
know there have been
a day
challenges
or
with,
a week.
Fewer.
It's a whole
employees.
week she's proposing.
We've got quite a few coming on.
So
now,
there is. I just
going
googled it.
down
There is a
and
National
want to,
Public Safety
make sure that
Telecommunications
we
Week.
Yeah, that's what it is. She just wants Worcester to acknowledge it, I think.
So we're gonna have a resolution in favor. Roll call.
Hey, remember when you refused to have the city like ceremonially acknowledge that we shouldn't have nukes, but you want to do this one?
Yeah, right.
Councilor Bergman?
So we can just have the
Councilor
city
Yes.
acknowledge any national days that we want.
Sure.
Councilor Merrill Carlson?
Oh, I
Councilor
need
Nguyen?
to see the packet on this
Councilor
one.
Rivera?
National Sibling
Councilor
Day.
Rose? Councilor Russell?
Yes.
Councilor Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty?
Yes. I recommend the approval of the firm of Clifton Lawson Allen LLP for the annual auditing service of the city auditor for fiscal year 2022 to 2024. Roll call.
Councilor Bergman?
Yes.
Councilor Calorio?
Yes.
Councilor Gia?
Yes.
Councilor King?
Yeah.
Yes.
Councilor Merrill Carlson?
Yes.
Councilor Nguyen?
Yes.
Councilor Rivera?
Yes.
Councilor Russell?
Yes.
Councilor Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty?
Yes. Next item is transferring information communication of the process and timeline of the city fall during the 93, 2004, 2014 city manager search and appointment process. You can send
I feel
that
like he's
to
rushing
the,
this one.
MO committee.
Yeah.
Those in favor, opposed.
It was all above board. Next item.
Really picked up the pace there. That's why
Yeah.
he's wearing the mask so he can muffle his voice.
City Manager Augustus.
He does know how to use the fact that no one can understand what he's saying.
Facial recognition technology applies.
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
The use of the drone.
You made a really good point about that in your, I think it was the last article before today.
Yeah, last week. It's like when he wants to make it
Over
really
the last week,
confusing.
I've had a lot of people
he can
reach
do
out
it.
to me, and because of this matter, many who questioned, why do we need drones now,
Oh, nice,
and
dude.
what
What's
are
the drones?
our
This is
actual priorities, and why aren't we using this funding for other efforts?
Yes.
And last
Like
Tuesday, I
anything.
did also ask these questions,
Yes.
and the response I got was because we received.
I literally at the beginning of this, I was like, I
and
need to
feel it
watch
really
my
sit
facial
well with people,
expressions.
and I didn't quite have an answer to them aside from
I mean,
got this
it
grant.
sounds like Matt should
But I
maybe
also
hire
think
you
just
to,
because we have
do
money
ads for
doesn't
him
mean we
for
need to
crafty.
spend it.
That would be fantastic.
Maybe that is
People
that.
aren't
Maybe that is
convinced that
Matt.
drones are the way to go, and this
That
feels
that
like
is
a
well,
slippery
it could
slope.
be. It could
We
be.
still
Matt
haven't
is
seen
also
the
on
report
here. He could have a burner.
of the people at the table and the best best practices and the challenges we might face. I'd
True.
also like to request a draft of the policy, practices, and procedures that WPD intends to use if they acquire the drones, as well as a copy of the grant that was written for these drones. I think that would be helpful.
Bill,
And
you
then
shared
I'd
something
also like
today
to hold the item.
from another Substack about Framingham not being very
I also think
transparent
something
with
the
their
committee would discuss
drone
also.
purchases.
That's according to
Do
what
you
I
know,
wrote.
is there just a
Technology.
general grant floating
Yeah, I
around that
would
there's a
still like to
wave of public safety
Okay, so we need to
departments
go
that all
vote.
seem to be interested in
Yeah,
drones at the same time?
that's how I
Thank
understand
you,
it.
Mr. Chairman.
It's
I
something
think
made
those
available
requests
through.
make sense.
It
Before we
might
move
be through
forward,
the state.
I'll
I'm
vote
not
based
sure,
on
but
that.
I think that that's
I
going to
think
be
it makes
like
sense to see
my
a draft policy. I think it
project for the
makes
next couple of
sense
days is like
to
really
see
looking at that. And
Let me know if I can help with that.
additional
I'd be really curious to
information
figure out like who the
and to
lobbyist
see
is
what
that
the grant
convinced a bunch of state
is for.
legislatures to release a bunch
You
of
know,
money
I
to
really want to hold this.
the
Again, I
Executive
want to
Office
be
of Public
very
Safety to
clear
get a bunch of drones in the sky.
that I
yeah,
would recommend that any policy,
that would be very interesting. Yeah.
any sort of searching for homeless
Because that's just the
encampments
way it appears. Is there's
be stricter
because
in
everyone's
some of the
using the same
policy,
language too. Like in
unless
Framingham, it
there's
seems
some
to be
sort of
about
search
lost
and
elderly
rescue
people.
attached to it.
It's like we
I'm
misplaced too
very,
many
very,
elderly
very
people.
concerned
We need drones
about
to
that,
find them.
how that'll impact the unsheltered. That being said, I know that what I was happy to note from the Worcester Police Department is its commitment to transparency that's in this. I have no doubt that we've been moving forward in those aspects. But I did some research. I know that the policy that I would like to see, Mr. Chairman, is similar to, the Boston Police have a policy that they took quite some time. It just came out in July in developing. And part of that policy, which is what I agree with, is that we need to make sure that the department doesn't use this to intimidate, harass, or discriminate against any individual or group. I also believe that should not be targeting persons based solely on individual characteristics. I was happy to note that in the communication from the department, it indicated it would not be equipped with weapons of any kind. I would ask in the policy that it would indicate
That's a
that it
fundamental
shall not
misunderstanding
include
about
facial
how much
technology.
drones
We have
can
a
carry.
report here, Mr. Chairman, from our solicitor indicating the definition of facial technology.
It's got a
definition
Derringer
of
attached to the
technology
bottom
in
of
our
it.
ordinance, and it indicates that this particular drone won't have it. My concern last week was more around the matter that it has the capacity to actually have it. And we need policy that makes sure that folks
Someone get this man a
are
handheld
protected.
mic.
And I had a question through the chair to the administration. Perhaps I don't know if there's anyone from someone here.
I have like a million mics around here. I'm just gonna bring one down to him.
You should show up in a suit
Right
and just
now.
hold his mic for him silently, stand next
Just
to
a
him.
hand coming in.
How often does that happen?
All black like a stagehand.
No, one of the green screen suits.
How
Green
often are we
screen.
using
One time when I was in college, there was a punk show at a church in Leominster,
mentioned, over multiple
and none of the
departments
band
of all
brought
sorts of reasons. I
a mic
understand
stand. So our friend put on his he had a Panther mascot suit. He put it on and then just held the
That's incredible.
He just held his arm out the whole night. It was insane.
drones in the past, I don't know, 4 or 5 years or 3 years or any information that we have, Mr. Chairman.
Chief or Mr. Manager, or?
Mr. Mayor, I think Deputy Chief Salsi is on the line.
So,
Yes,
Chief
through
Salsa.
the chair to the council. I can tell you within the last 6 months, we have used the drone twice. Once was in a homicide investigation.
Wait, so they already have a drone?
And I believe the other was.
No,
in
they just
search
use
of
They use the
person.
state police's drone.
And as
They
I
don't
spoke
want their
about
own
last week,
drone.
Okay.
the problem is
They don't want to have to
If you're
ask.
gonna share
these
with
things are
everybody
time of
else.
essence.
Like when
So you
when
need
you're
to
12
react
and you get a
quickly.
phone in your
We
room.
have to make a call to state police, have somebody come out from
You
Framingham.
have to share it with your sibling.
Get set
Did
up.
you know?
We're losing a lot of time. So in best interest of public safety, it's better to have your own.
Bull. Shit.
Okay, so we've used this twice in 6 months. Do we have any idea how much we used it prior to that? Through the chair?
Chief?
Through the chair, I do not.
And do we have any idea how long it took to set that up, or what the circumstances, for example, for the search or the homicide, was that process like with the state police?
You mean time-wise or?
Yeah, just time-wise, how it works.
The drone has 36. Wait,
Through the chair.
really?
Through the chair, I'm sorry. I was not
I
active in
wonder
that
what drone they. I
investigation.
want to try and find out what
just,
drone they use. 'Cause
received knowledge
they
that
get
we
expensive
used
very
it, so
quickly.
I wasn't there to actually monitor how long.
They could
it
use a
took.
$400 drone that would do exactly what they
Yeah.
need.
I have a friend who she started a company and does training for drone flying for like photographers and law enforcement and fire departments and stuff. Those things are
Thank you,
really
Mr.
easy to
Chair. I
crash.
actually have scheduled a
Yeah,
subcommittee meeting next week.
I was telling these guys I have a
Because
drone.
it's
I have a
also
DJI
time-sensitive,
drone,
so
and I
all these
crashed it inside
questions can be
Wormtown
asked
Brewery.
next week.
Yeah, I was trying to do
Is,
some sabotage on your
there's
behalf.
really no need to hold
Didn't-
it
didn't
because
work.
we're going to have a meeting
Sounds like it worked a little bit.
It did. It was effective. Just was a
Yeah.
long-term play.
Like you can like crash one of those things
Yeah,
once
like
and
that.
all
She
that
has a
money's saved.
subcommittee only when they want something.
Councilor Rivera?
That's
Yes, I think because it's going to subcommittee, I know that, Mr. Chairman, one of the things that you often talk about is that some of these is to encourage open conversation and communication during these subcommittees. Also know that if there are chairman's order that go forth and this goes back to council for approval, similarly today, it could be held. It could, if there's
She
still
literally
more
does
questions,
only
if there's
call
still some things that
public
are
safety subcommittees
left
to
that
give
there's
her
a level
special
of
boys new
uncomfortability,
toys.
it could,
That is
to my
a
understanding,
legit
it could still be
100%
held,
true
correct?
statement.
Correct.
Okay, so I think that being said, Mr. Chairman, I would also encourage to just have it moved, just to have the conversation for in public safety, and for us to encourage community to come have input. I think that was also mentioned. I think it was Councilman Agenda mentioned.
Kate's seething right
making
now
sure
at the
that we
idea
have,
of public
Yeah,
participation.
I might actually go to that because I keep saying this when anything like drones comes up. I'm 99% sure that because of the relationship with the fusion centers, that like so Worcester can ban facial recognition all at once, but all they have to do is pass along the footage or a still to a federal partner, and they can run it through their database and just pass back the hit. I could be totally wrong with that, but I would actually like to go to this meeting and ask a representative from the police department and just get him on record.
Yeah, I think she said Wednesday at
5:30.
5. Is it this Wednesday?
We definitely
I think she said next week.
time
Next
sensitive of it,
Wednesday.
But I think if it comes back and we still have unanswered questions or concerns to the magnitude that some councils have today.
Yeah, it's
I think
tough. The video is a
you know,
little
but I think it would be great,
the city
not
video is
just
a little
for
weird
the
tonight.
time sensitive piece from the police department and for the public safety, but also I think for community.
We
to
could
move
try
this
to
along.
refresh
I
it
think
while
there's a lot of
Sarai's talking.
questions, There's a lot of conversations.
I
that
kind of want to hear
people-
what she's saying,
comments
actually.
people making, and I think it would be a really good opportunity to be able to have this open conversation with community in
Okay.
subcommittee.
Okay.
And because it's happening within a week, which is good. Thank
Okay.
you.
Councilor Bergman?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I also welcome it coming to the subcommittee. I think it'll give it a fair opportunity to kind of work out some of the questions. All the questions can't be answered at this moment, but I do think that's a program worth going forward with. I know there's some time constraints on it, but the reason why I rise, I think my
No way, Mo. You think that?
I intend to say is that I rise because I think oftentimes when we have these
I rise.
conversations, we forget about or put aside the positive that could also happen. Certainly, we need to worry about some issues that
Thank
affect
God it's Mo Bergman.
all of us are sensitive to the homeless community and don't want.
Thinking about all the sweet footage we're gonna get.
I think that's a very good idea, Des. I think everyone should reach out to the city council, all of the city councilors, and
mental
tell
health
them.
and
So I said Mo Bourbon wanted to have a fundraiser in our space. That was after he came for a Purim celebration, in which my staff was like, "Who is that guy who's a fucking asshole?"
technology helps that.
And was super rude to everyone all night.
Oh, I bet.
Also,
Tragedy
Uh,
fires.
The one time that Donna Colorio ever came in, she got pissed and yelled at someone because we didn't have an amaretto sour, and then she had a ginger ale and left. And that was also for that was for the Hank Souls event.
I like to focus on what can go right, and I do.
I literally took a picture of her and texted people and was like, "Who is this woman?"
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so I know Councilman, if you want to try to hold it, you want to send it to committee, or the issue here is that we don't meet next week, and so we
Hold it.
The councilor is not wrong. The work is done in subcommittee. You can hold it, and I'll agree to hold it if you're not satisfied with the answers. So when it comes back, and we should get a report asking for your answers in writing.
So I would like to still hold it,
Hell
especially
yeah.
if y'all are meeting Wednesday. I think, community would need more time and information before moving forward.
You won't be able to have the meeting. Is the problem? You won't.
They're not having.
Yeah, I would still like to hold it.
Fuck yeah.
So we'll be in the same situation. No, I'm saying we're not meeting next week.
At all?
So they have the subcommittee. We can hear it, then bring it back for Tuesday, and it's the same result. You're gonna have the answers in front of you.
I mean, it would be nice to get some reports for the next meeting then.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so we can get the reports for the next meeting that you're asking for. Yes.
So I don't understand.
So there's no meeting next week, but there's a subcommittee next week, and I'm thinking that in
Isn't
the
that what
hold it,
they said?
it's still going to be next 2 Tuesdays from now before
Well,
it comes
I
back.
would like the reports that I requested from WPD around
Yeah.
the best practices and policies.
Yeah, we can get that for the, Mr. Manager, think we'll get that for
Yeah.
2 weeks from now?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, so we have it for the next meeting.
Did
Info
he lose his
subcommittee.
pants at the Red Sox game? Why is he holed up
Oh,
down the hall?
Yeah, right.
Also, I
So,
feel like if
motion-
somebody's not going to be in the meeting, they should put one of those cutouts from Polar Park in their chair.
Oh yeah.
That would be really helpful.
Mr. Chairman, I just
We have a
ask,
couple they could
just on a
borrow.
point of
Yeah,
order.
there should be a weird one of me and Sean mixed together.
We're talking about two separate items, aren't we?
We're talking about.
I don't like
We're
it.
talking about
but I
15A,
can't
which
stop
is a
looking
new
at it.
item.
Yep.
Am I correct?
Yeah, 15A.
Some of my
we
finest
have
work.
The right to hold
And then
that one.
item 18A, which is the item that was held last time, correct?
Correct.
So the only thing that we need to vote on is the 18A, I believe, right? Am I
Correct. Yep.
And 15A could be held on the privilege because
Correct.
it's a new item, correct?
Correct.
All right, thank you.
So, Councilman, you want to hold 15A on the privilege?
Good job, George.
No, that one's fine. I would like to hold 18A.
Okay, so, okay, let's send 15A to subcommittee, and the motion is to hold 18A.
So much
Roll
time
call.
in these meetings is wasted by people not knowing what the
So,
hell is
Mr.
going
Mayor,
on.
just for clarification
And
for the record here, 15A has been referred to public
Joe
safety.
Petty's saying a different thing every
18A
time
needs
he's trying to
4 votes
clarify.
in order to be
It's
held again.
confusing everybody.
So on a roll call, Council Bergman,
No.
Council Calorio,
No.
Council Agia,
Yes.
Council King,
Yes.
Council Merrill Carlson, Council Nguyen,
Yes.
Council Rivera,
No.
Council Rose is not here, Council Russell,
No.
Council Toomey,
No.
and Mayor Petty.
No.
So the motion to hold fails.
Because of fucking Sean Rose
Subcommittee, and
getting COVID.
also we want
Why isn't he
reports
calling in?
requested by Council King and Council Nguyen for the next meeting.
Okay, so just the first motion, 18A, go to public safety. Would you like
He's
to roll
normally
call
just
that
a
one?
person in the seat anyway.
All those, yeah.
Okay. Council Bergman,
This is to send it to public safety?
18A to public safety.
Yes.
Council Calorio,
Yes.
Council Agia,
Yes.
Council King,
Yes.
Council
I'm
Merrill
sure they get a
Carlson,
packet that they don't
Council
read.
Nguyen,
Yes.
Council Rivera,
Yes.
Council Rose is not here, Council Russell,
Yes.
Council Toomey,
Yes.
and Mayor Petty.
Yes.
Attell and 2 did
We
tell
are
us
on-
there are some trainings, but they're not. Didn't seem super involved.
That was interesting.
15A motion. is
Clip
to
that.
advertise
Somebody
the
clip that.
ordinance. Those in favor, post so ordered. 17A to
So
17WG. the motion to
they
advertise
sent them
proposed
both
ordinance.
to
Those in
committee,
favor,
basically.
opposed,
So they're going to be
so
talking
ordered.
about both of them next Wednesday at the Public Safety Subcommittee.
Yeah,
Right.
and then
Two
follow.
originally seemed like they were trying to hold
Never say
15A.
anything under suspension.
but then changed it to 18A after Petty suggested it or George Russell said something. And then because I was already held once, they had to take another vote on it to hold it again, and that passed with that failed with 7 no's.
Yep.
So now just 15A and 18A are going to. We're having the drone discussion next Wednesday.
So we get an update
Is
status.
all
on
that
the,
to say.
Newton Hill conservation restriction. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. And so the motion now is to we're going to executive session. That the council does
No
hereby
boulder?
convene executive session at the Tuesday, April 12th, 2022.
Told you they weren't going to talk about the boulder.
Discussing the strategy to
Shameful.
negotiate the contract
Missed
with
opportunity.
ex-City
This
manager
is Bouldergate
Eric
gate.
Batista.
They should have
So,
talked about
we are gonna-
Bouldergate.
we are gonna come
We
back
can
into
just
open
skip over
session,
random
so
stuff
we
on the
might have
agenda
to-
like that.
To refer it to MO committee.
Yeah,
we have to come
he
back
does
with
like
different
group
votes.
motions.
So we
It's
will
like
come back
all the reports
open
from traffic
session.
and parking.
So like the rest
So
of this shit, everybody's cool with.
they just go all
That
in
one-
favor. Yeah, and then
Order
like
there.
it's on counselors to
Councilor
pull
King?
out ones they have issues
Councilmember
with.
Carlson?
Yes.
For an
In the
individual.
order in
Yes.
general on that
Councilor
one,
Vera?
and it's public safety.
Councilor Rose?
Anyways,
Not here.
so
Councilor Russell?
it'll just go there.
Councilor Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty?
Yes, so we'll be back in about 15 minutes, I would think, 10 to 15.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so they are coming
That's what
back.
the lady upstairs
All right.
told us.
They're coming back.
We'll
Wait, I don't know. He might have been joking, dude. Joe was so hard to understand. Like,
we'll hang out for a little bit and see what
when
transpires.
you're the public
Ooh,
face
look
of
at
your
this pan
group
up.
of friends, well, look at this camera action going on right now.
Yeah.
It's great.
Ooh. Those are
So
nice
that's
lights.
what's up there.
Yeah, painted on the ceiling dust. Yeah, Joe Petty's evil laugh.
So for an acting city manager, will they match the existing city manager salary?
Yeah, I don't. I think that's an individual negotiation sort of thing.
But historically, they don't go down, right? Like,
Oh, I don't know. I've never thought about the amount of money.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah,
it's just
they're
like
going to come back.
it's all just like like I don't know, cul-de-sac money for me. It's like, what's the difference really between 150 and 180? You know.
oh yeah, amongst
When he made
friends.
so much goddamn money off selling at Augustus's apartment.
Dude, that is honestly like that was such a fun rabbit hole. Eric Batista buys this condo from old time Worcester real estate guy, and at like a huge discount because he died, and then he sells it to his boss, making a 70 grand profit in 2 years.
Yeah.
That's either awesome or something sketchy's going on there.
Yeah,
Like,
what
either
was that
punked his
conversation?
boss-
Like,
Yeah.
Hey, you want to buy my condo?
I think though that this is kind of indicative to some of what Danny was talking about earlier, though, when the valid criticisms of like an inner circle, right? Like some of these folks live in such an insulated little universe that probably doesn't strike them as nearly as weird as it strikes a normal person who would put a property on the open market, not just walk into the office and say, "Hey, you want to buy a condo?" Like, and think that's normal, right? Like, but these folks do exist in their own little bubble, and it's. I find myself, I always want to like conspiracy, like, but no, often it's just stupid. It's just really dumb and stupid and provincial.
Yeah, and I mean, like Batista. If anything's going on sketchy here, it's Batista, because I looked it up, and William Bevo bought that apartment off of like the developer in 2006, I think, for 140,000. So like, so Batista's the one that really got this in like a huge deal.
Totally, yeah, because the other guy bought it pre 2008 market collapse, and then
Right.
Batista, it was on the way back up from condos in Worcester being completely worthless.
Okay,
Yeah,
never mind. I forgot about that whole thing.
But Batista bought it for what? Like
It was 90 or 80 or 85, 90
in 2018.
Yeah.
That's an insane price in 2018 for that condo.
Oh shit! I forgot to write about the Green Street Bridge. That's like the most. That is the most transparently just anti-homeless architecture
Mhm.
that public art has ever been. I mean, that to even call that art is such a fucking slap in the face. to everybody
There
that-
are places. I remember talking to people about this a few years ago. There are some cities that have done really nice light installations like that under bridges and stuff, which is actually they're actually really cool and interactive and fun. But
Yeah.
that's not.
No,
is
this
just
is
like these are
free
just
colors.
rainbow lights.
Yeah. They made a secretary in the city manager's office pick out, hey, what are your 3 favorite colors, right? And then they just bought lights that did those colors. Like it's like they didn't even try to hide the fact that they're just trying to make Holden people feel safe walking under there.
Well, they can't even. They're like they say it's too unsafe to even paint under there, and yet they can
Yeah.
attach lights. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Right.
also like even like like Powwow I know was told for a while that they couldn't touch it.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It's
Yeah, there were no townies coming in for baseball games at
Yeah.
the time. That's
Absolutely.
and folks, sleeping under there. That's you can't have the townies stepping over folks.
I think we should put disco lights in the Boynton to prevent city councilors from congregating in there at night.
Yeah.
I think that's
You say that, but like that was actually a draw for Maxwell Silverman's was the giant disco ball hanging in the middle of the dining room. So I don't know, man. That could blow up in your face.
it's true. They would fucking love it, I bet. Like, oh, it reminds me of Shaboom's.
Mhm.
Oh man. Yeah, the Green Street Bridge is a real wasted opportunity. They really phoned that one in.
Yeah.
And it probably cost like 4 times as it should have.
Oh, I don't even want to look up how much they spent on that. Like, I could have done that for like $100. You know, it is not a hard thing to do.
Yeah. Order a couple lights from
some string lights.
Yeah,
It would
yeah.
have looked nicer.
Literally, string lights would have looked nicer. Like just some like bigger light bulb Christmas lights. Like would have
The nice icicle lights year round.
Yeah, it would have that would have looked fine. And I would have been
People
happy
love
to
Christmas
chilling
lights.
under there.
I mean, Brad, there's only one way to find out. I think.
Yeah. The answer is always less than you think.
Yeah. And it really wouldn't be hard to find out if anybody were to hypothetically figure that one out and find that out. Don't tell me it was $250,000.
Seriously, I hope that's a joke.
No, I see. I can't look this up. My brain will.
Yeah.
I'll go off the deep end if I look this up.
It's just $250,000 on $30 worth of LED strip lights from Amazon.
Like, how can we do the most expensive thing for the least viable usage?
Yeah.
Yeah, the bridge looks like every streamer's bedroom right now.
Yeah, right. Man, that's fucked up.
Good, they're doing more. Sweet.
Oh, good. Great. Yeah, it looks so nice on the first one.
I hope they do a bridge that trucks repeatedly crash into. That'd be a good choice. That visual on Boston News with just an
yeah, like the Cambridge Street Bridge that gets hit like 3 times a year.
Yeah. Yeah, all the ghouls that were there at that press conference. And the big fake switch. Like
Were you guys around for blowing up the mall when they had the big fake like Acme plunger?
No.
They actually brought out a giant, like Roadrunner, sort of like big plunger before, he blows up Wile E. Coyote. They had one of those behind the mall. And it was Tim Murray and Mike O'Brien, like hand on each side, pushing down their big plunger.
That's
not surprising.
But they fucked up the timing, so the plunger didn't do anything.
And there was no one there to stop them.
Yeah.
Do you rent one of those?
$250,000 plunger.
I bet you could go up to Westerman's Prop Factory and find an Acme plunger or something kicking around. There must have been one from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh, did he get the props from Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
I have
cool.
no idea.
Oh boy. See, I don't know why they're bothering to go. You know what they're probably doing is they are going to come back to announce the contract. They're probably going to come back to be like, "Hey, he signed the paper. We have an manager." And everyone's going to be like, "Ooh!"
It's gonna be
It's
like
like
a Pope
showing.
thing. There'll be like white smoke coming up out of the chimney of City Hall, and
Yeah,
Like a gender reveal too.
No, they're gonna show us the sheet.
Yeah. Oh my God, they're gonna like roll the red carpet in that they brought for the Woo Sox and have like, to walk down it.
I know it's probably nothing, but I'm genuinely confused why the city manager is just hanging out in his office down the hall, though. And everybody else was too. The first time he came on, they had their Zoom chat window open, and it was all the assistant city managers and all the staff. They're all off. They're on site, but called in remotely for some reason.
Does it have something to do with the bit with Batista that they're about to do?
Oh yeah.
Maybe there's like a hazing thing that they do, like a secret ceremony.
Yeah.
They have like
They're
a
all
paddle.
gonna come out of their offices with like tambourines down the hallway.
Yeah, you can't put on fancy masks and murder a prostitute on Zoom. It doesn't work.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
COVID really did change a lot, huh?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I bet that they're desperately looking for any way that they don't have to sit there under the cameras. So if they can say that they went to the ballpark today and they don't know if they got infected, but they, for the safety of everybody, they're going to stay in their room and like self quarantine. That everyone would just be like, okay, that's fine, and then they can just like sit there and just dick around when they're not being specifically asked to do something. I feel like that's 100% what's happening.
But instead, Sean Rose went and got COVID and makes it all seem super suspicious.
Yeah, right.
Maybe one of them got silly drunk, and like Peter Dunn is actually like passed out, vomiting on himself in the manager's office. So they're all back there taking care of him. And
like a send Ed for an explanation.
That's why the camera angle is so high.
that's a much better rumor to start. Peter Dunn is so fucking drunk right now.
Ed's just patting his head and holding his hair if he throws up.
Across his lap, patting his back.
Yeah. This is why you can't be the acting city manager, Peter. You need to get your act together, Peter.
They actually lost him. It's an episode of Hangover.
Yeah, he's up on the roof.
He's on that little balcony out front, but nobody remembers how to get him.
He and Ida are just locked in the the foyer together.
Oh man. Did anybody go to opening day today?
No.
Anybody in the chat or
Still
I
never
wonder what
been.
the attendance was for opening day.
Yeah, I'm curious.
It's sick that like this was announced with so much fanfare and city turning around potential, but like they don't even get into the top 5 of attendance of like minor league teams. Really
because it sucks to park down there.
Yeah, that's why you don't put that there.
Who could have known except all of us?
Maybe you don't put something that requires a lot of people parking in a place that is not fucking fun to park.
70. What's the capacity? Is it 10? I don't know. I mean, 3 p.m. on a Tuesday is a tough
Yeah.
I don't want to get too far from it. Danny, you've never been?
Nope.
I've never been.
Well, Wormtown's the official brewery, so I'm not actually allowed to go.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Buddy
you could start a turf war, what?
Oh, so it was near capacity. Okay. Or are you
Yeah.
saying 7,900 is the capacity?
The actual the actual.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Listen, it's weird. I'm very conflicted about it because I love standing in a ballpark. I love eating trash food and yelling at people, and that's a great place to do all those things by the standards of like a baseball park. It's a nice baseball park to be in, but yeah, it's really hard. But it's like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
Why do we have this? Why do we have this
Oh,
here?
you can understand that it's stupid and still have fun there.
Yeah. That's. I mean, I'm a wrestling fan, so
And from a design
Yeah,
perspective,
I live my life with that dichotomy.
Yeah, I was gonna go last year on a bunch of mushrooms and then write like a Fear and Loathing parody.
I will happily join you in doing
and
that.
I just didn't do it, but I could do that this year easily.
Yeah.
I'm down. We can make this a special feature.
Yeah.
Wait, just like have be on the stream the entire time.
Yeah. Let's do it.
We'll just
Like-
record it on phones and we'll play the footage here.
Yeah.
to your point though, too, Brian. I mean, it's like they have so much different. I've only been to one game down there, and I hate baseball. Zero interest in baseball whatsoever. But like they have so much different styles of seating there, like it is the perfect place to just pick a seat and yell at people. Like you can
Not
just
pay
get.
attention to baseball.
No,
No,
you don't. You don't have to. There's so many places you can be where you won't even. There might as well not
Yeah.
even be a game happening.
Yeah. I used to love baseball. Like I was obsessed with the Red Sox from middle school. I didn't miss a single baseball game from 6th grade through 8th grade and was obsessed with it. And so peak of the Worcester Red Sox for me was getting to fist bump Pedro Martinez at the freaking party that they had on the Common.
Yeah.
And I don't need to interact with the Worcester Red Sox after that. Like
Did he
that
have
is,
his
I
little
got
person?
everything I want out of that.
Yeah.
Did he have his good luck charm with him?
Oh, that guy. I think that guy's maybe not with us anymore.
No, I know he's not.
No, but he was not supposed to be given the microphone, and he took it anyway, and it was awesome. They were definitely like Pedro was supposed to smile and wave, and he started like he grabbed the mic and started talking about all sorts of shit, and it was great.
Yeah, that Red Sox team might have been the most personality you could possibly cram into a sports team of all time ever.
Yeah.
And they should let more people be fun like that now. I feel like that's not. That's
why you got to go to Bravehearts games because, guys, it's going to be nuts this year.
Yeah, it's going to be so much better.
We're doing a bunch of stuff with them too, which I love. Just both of us being like Worcester's second, whatever we are, and they reached out to us about doing stuff, and they're awesome, and they have so many cool ideas, and we're gonna do a bunch of shit with them. I'm trying to get. They're doing a mural inside their stadium, and I'm putting Jimmy on it. So you're doing a mural and you can submit yourself to be painted on the wall inside the Bravehearts Park. And I submitted our brewery cat.
We should start a fundraiser to see if they can bring back Canseco for one night only.
Yeah.
Like just go fund me a 1-day contract for Canseco.
Wait, could I submit my logo?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. They're doing a bunch of businesses and then they want people to just submit themselves too.
We put the Wootenanny logo in.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I'm sending the email right now. That guy
yeah.
just emailed me.
Yeah, Peterman is a crazy person. I really do love him. He understands exactly what it's supposed to be, and he is going off this year.
Yeah, I lean into it. Why not?
Sean came on the show last night and told us that him and Peterman had a quick conversation. There's a whole article, but it's going to be more of a show than it is a game this year.
Yeah.
That's awesome. When I went, they released a bunch of children in the outfield, and they were all falling down and running into each other, and it was amazing. They like gave them pie and had them run around.
We need to do an in between innings game. Like we need to sponsor something.
So this is a scoop, but the Hot Dog Safari is going to be doing something with them in June, and he kind of was like soliciting ideas, I think, from us, and one of the ideas is to do a hot dog relay race where every base you go to, you have to eat a hot dog. So we're gonna get somebody to puke on the field.
Yes. Get Eric to apply the ketchup at third base.
Perfect. Yeah.
To make it really hard there at the end.
You should pick a city councilor to participate in it.
Hey, listen, if they're stupid enough to, then yeah.
Can we pay to make like a large stuffed costume of Candy Merrill Carlson I don't know.
Sadness
like a mascot style? You can definitely buy
Exactly.
that.
Yeah.
They'll make you custom mascot whatever you want.
We should
Compete
make
with
like a really
Smiley Ball.
spooky midsummer like straw edifice.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we're gonna put a city councilor in a wicker man.
Yeah, wicker man, yeah.
Release bees.
All I'm hearing is what we're gonna do with this ad money we get from our sponsor.
Yeah. Yeah, Matt, I'm very sorry. Yeah, everybody buy more crafty kombucha. Go down to your local store, buy crafty kombucha so that you can buy a mascot of Candy Merrill Carlson.
That's a monster.
Yeah, the AFL-CIO would bury us under Polar Park.
Oh yeah, we'd
but it would be
worth it. Who The Irishman was as a movie.
I think yes. That's what I just picture.
Just stay away from any grassy knolls.
Danny, while we're waiting on the council, anything going on at the brewery you'd like people to know about?
Maybe something going on Thursday.
I should be more. Oh yeah, Jeff May is coming out to do a comedy show, but I think it's just about sold out. There was like 3 tickets last I heard. Thanks for the hint, by the way. I was like, I don't
I'm
know.
hosting.
He's
So.
released a new beer today. That's cool. Yeah,
what is
it's our Maybach all the way May.
Hell yeah.
A baseball themed one. Oh,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, Jeff May's coming out on Thursday. A friend of mine actually messaged me about it. He's like, I love that guy. This is really at the brewery. I was like, yeah, come. It's
There'll be tickets, a few tickets sold at the door. So definitely come down and try. And if you don't get in, then buy a beer and stand outside and still hear it.
Yeah, you totally can do that. The last time he came out, I think in the fall, was a really good time. It was packed and it was an awesome show.
Yeah.
You're like performing, right?
Yeah, I'm hosting. Mairead is doing a spot, and then Izzy DeRose, Boston comic, she's coming out too. It's gonna be a great lineup.
Awesome.
It should be very fun. Yeah, is there any other big stuff on the horizon, events or anything?
I'm looking at my calendar now because my brain is like shut down. Oh, we got a Technocopia Makers Market next Saturday. We've been doing a lot of the Makers Markets. We're going to be doing we're working with formerly Crafts and Drafts, now Made Markets, to be doing like a farmers market / makers market in the parking lot that we have across Shrewsbury Street over the summer. I think we're planning on 6 of them. We're in like permitting and stuff now, which is funny. Apparently we've gotten a lot of complaints about our parking. People have been complaining about us with parking maybe not city council, but to Deb Steele, which I'm like, and you never passed any of those comments on to us. So that's what happens when you make complaints to the city is they
go into a void.
Yeah.
What is their problem with parking?
So I don't really even know. I wasn't on the call, but basically she was just like, she was for our application. She was like, you guys need to submit a very detailed plan for parking because we've gotten lots of complaints about you. And for the most part, like our neighbors across the street make good money off of the towing kickbacks for people parking in their lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then other than that, I think we do pretty good.
Danny, when you go to file your common victicular license, do you like walk into the office really, really quietly so that you have the opportunity to whack the bell really loud when you go in?
No, so I can slide it across and not interact with anyone. She's like, go right there, right there.
I love that bell.
This year is like half of the stuff is online and half of it is via mail, and then like there's some that you have to bring in person.
Mm-hmm.
It's super helpvel for business owners.
Make it as complicated as possible.
Yeah.
I've never really had an issue either. But hey,
all the suburbanites, like they bitch about parking all the time. So, and then they park in people's spots. There's one lady who is on like the side street that she fought for years to get a resident parking spot, and people park in that sometimes. And so I'm sure she's complaining because she comes into the brewery. She's like, make them move. And I'm like, I guess I will walk around to every person here and ask them, which I've done on multiple occasions with her behind me, and found the person who parked there and like had them move their car.
She should get a chair like everyone else in the city.
Right?
Oh, are they back? Oh God, still this weird shot. I feel like balloons are going to be coming down. That's what it is.
Yeah, usually they just cut to a screen.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
They want to keep us engaged, wondering what's going to happen.
Yeah, right. It's a huge fucking mystery. Oh, Arcatista, city manager for life, as long as he does whatever Michael Angelini tells him to. Yay! We smashed the inner circle. It's the most diverse city manager we've ever had.
With submitting that article to the WBJ was that like Mike Angelini was going to want to like have lunch with me or something.
Oh my God.
I was like, I hope none of these. I'm like, I mean what I say here. I don't want to talk to any of you boring people. So please don't like take this as a please like talk to me situation.
Did you get any feedback like that?
No.
No. Good.
Even I was also kind of worried that my dad was gonna like want to talk about it and be like, because my dad's more on the conservative side. So I was really worried that he was gonna come in and make some comments, and I escaped that so far too.
Great. Yeah.
But no.
How do we start an interceptagon?
Ooh, we have to learn what septagon is.
It's a 7-sided shape.
Oh,
For
all
the
right.
7 Hills of Worcester. Come on, guys. It'll be even
Aw.
cooler than the.
And that's the most eyes wide shut thing that's been said on this podcast.
Squeebo, not that I know of. I didn't hear it, but again, it could be one of those things that they just grouped and passed by a voice vote.
Yeah, we heard nothing about zoning or giant rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just like committee stuff that just gets passed automatically and usually isn't.
They're back.
Wow.
Wow. All right. Joe Pay's gonna say some shit we don't understand, and then meeting adjourned. Eric Batista is our city manager for life.
Forever.
The most diverse city manager ever in terms of race and ethnicity and science beliefs. Beliefs on the world. Joe Pay's gonna go. All right, we adjourn this meeting. Eric Batista is gonna be the manager for life. See you. Bye. Yeah, very very diverse.
Roll call. I'm sorry, coming back. We are back in regular session. Roll call.
Council Bergman.
Here.
Council Calorio.
Here.
Council Haji.
Here.
Council King.
Here.
Council Merrill Carlson.
Here.
Council Nguyen.
Here.
Council Rivera.
Here.
Council Rose is absent. Council Russell.
Here.
Council Toomey.
Here.
And Mayor Petty.
Here. Okay. The motion is requesting a committee of municipal and legislative operations committee meet in executive session for the purpose of discussing the contract and salary associated with the hiring of acting city manager Eric D. Batista.
And have a couple beers too.
So, Mr. Mayor, just for a point of clarification, this is what came out of the executive session, and it'll be adopted or sent to the MO committee.
Correct.
Council Bergman.
Yes.
Council Calorio.
Yes.
Council
What are they
Haji.
voting on?
Council King.
Yes.
Council Merrill Carlson.
Yes.
Council Nguyen.
Yes.
Council Rivera. Yes. Council Russell.
Yes.
Council Toomey.
Yes.
And Mayor Petty.
Yes. So we have a motion to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
So they came back for a motion to adjourn.
No, they came back to say this is what happened. Like that was wild actually. Nico was just like, this is what happened in executive session. Does everyone agree? And they all said yes, we agree, but they didn't say what happened.
See what happened, yeah.
Just that it was going to municipal operations. I'm getting on the proverbial horn right now.
All right, let's pull that.
Well, that was
yeah
anticlimactic.
Yeah, no boulders.
You'll find that a lot of these are.
You know what? The last time that I regularly watched city council meetings was in 2020. And then I started watching again a few weeks ago with you guys. I was like, these now in 2022 have a much more Parks and Rec vibe to them.
Yeah, when there's not 4 hours of public comment.
Yeah.
It's different. Yeah.
Yeah. I got real engaged around the Columbus statue stuff.
Yes.
I have a lot of strong feelings about that.
That's something I think we definitely should kind of circle back to as a community, because it's still crazy fucked up that it's there, and we should make it a problem for Joe Petty.
Yeah, that would be a fun thing.
Ooh, yeah, bring some state attention.
Yeah, submit a petition about it every week, so they have to so it's at least on the agenda.
I kind of just want to, instead of vandalizing it, just make a sign that has a different old guy's name and put it in front of it, and a different one every week. Then it's no longer a Columbus statue. It can be Galileo. It can be anybody.
Yeah.
James Gandolfini.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what my big one was. He looks like the bad guy in Shrek.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, Lord Farquaad.
That's what we should just put up a Farquaad sign.
Yeah. See how long
I've just been hoping somebody would jump that, just launch off of that roundabout, clear in from the opposite street, and just take it out with their truck.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
A boy can dream.
Yeah. They just put it back up though.
There's also so many benches in front of it.
Yeah. I mean, Boston, people broke the Boston one and they haven't put it back up.
Did they throw it in the harbor? Is that the thing that happened? Or was
They
that
knocked its
Providence?
head off.
They cut its head off.
Somewhere else threw it in the harbor. Or threw it in the water. But
you know, what would be a really funny idea is to somehow figure out how to tie it to the train. So when the commuter rail train pulls away, it's just like yanks it
Put it
down.
on a bus and have it ride around on a bus and see how long it takes them to get over.
That's the thing that like bums me out about Worcester is that like MIT kids can figure out how to paint like the dome of their building like R2D2 without anybody noticing, and like we can't ghost a stupid statue made of melted chocolate. Like
WPI, people are talking about how WPI is an amazing school. Yeah, all right, prove it, motherfuckers.
Prove it.
Yeah. Figure out how to tie that statue to the outgoing commuter rail train.
Something tells me you could buy a strong enough magnet on Amazon, Bill. I bet you could do that single-handedly.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Pulls the train off the tracks.
If that happens, in the event that happens, it definitely wasn't me.
Yeah.
And they didn't get the idea from me either.
This is all for humor. This is a humor broadcast.
Parody, humor. No one try that, but like if you do try it and it works, like sick.
Good on
but like
you.
don't try it. Right?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good beautification proposal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're on Shrewsbury Street too, which makes us part of the Italian community.
It's true.
I literally, when this was going on, tried to round up all the Italian people I know to put together a petition because as a non-Italian American, it's not part of my heritage. So
Right. Well, it's not part of theirs either.
I know a bunch of Italians.
He's not Italian, so
Oh yeah, that's true.
They're
Also
probably not part of that. That's why I'm saying everyone's happy. Tony Soprano. It's just a James Gandolfini statue. Everyone's happy.
Yeah.
Oh, Chef Boyardee is a good one too.
Chef Boyardee would be so good.
Yeah.
That is like the same amount of Italianness.
Yeah.
Between Columbus
Throw a
and
chef's hat on him and a little apron.
Yeah.
Plant a tomato garden around him.
Yeah.
Actually, we're trying to come up with a beautification project that we can be proud of.
Well, yeah, you should put it as a business owner. You should put in a petition that it's bad for business. That it's
Ooh.
negative impact.
It
That's-
is.
Ooh.
That's why I don't go to Shrewsbury Street anymore.
Yeah.
Wish I was like a traditional CEO that had a lot of time and money. I'll do so many petitions.
Yeah.
I look forward to drinking. I look forward to drinking Smash the Columbus Statue Ale from.
You know what? Actually, we do need. We decided this year we're doing a whole bunch of one-off and rotating IPAs, so we do need name ideas because naming beers. We're doing a whole bunch of one-off beers, so we need lots of names. So any ideas that people got?
Do you think the poop thing would sell?
Oh yeah, the poop thing.
The poop thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was
Oh, I
a
don't-
monster
yeah.
created out of the dumping of raw sewage into Lake Quinsigamond and kind of given life by the rage and bad vibes in the city. That's how it's generated over the years. And it became the poop thing and it's terrorizing the city.
Travis, I feel like you're just catching me up via meme.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any good names right now.
Well,
All right, that's all right. Shoot them my way.
Yeah,
Shoot them
everybody-
to anybody got good beer names? Send them to hello@redemptionrock.beer. Dan, you are welcome.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Let's get that. Let's make it happen, everybody. I get a good one. I wish I was so sexy. That would be a good beer name. Tie it into the show.
Eventually, the kids die. Yeah, that's
yeah. We have a lot of good memes that we can send your way. So everybody, everybody make those happen. Danny, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It was really amazing to have you on. I hope you come back again. We'd love to have you anytime that you're available.
Cool. This was
fully-
fun. Glad it wasn't 4 hours this week.
Yeah, that is very, very
I got lucky.
Again, everybody, go to Redemption Rock, buy everything they got. Come down on Thursday. If you don't have a ticket already, try and get one. I'll be there with some very funny comedians. Jeff May is hilarious. He's a local guy. He lives in LA now. He's very successful. It's cool that he does shows like this. It's kind of awesome. So come check that out. But go to the only one of the only uncanceled breweries in Worcester. So it's really I really do love it.
Got the streak running.
And as always, thank you to our sponsor, Crafty Kombucha, everybody. The only ethical consumption of capitalism. Worcester's
We also sell craft tea.
Yeah, you do. And so come down and get that. If you don't drink, then get a kombucha. And if you don't drink kombucha, then what's wrong with you? Do you hate your stomach? So come go get some of that. Make sure you're subscribing to Bill's Substack. Worcester Stuck, gotta love it. Billshaner.substack.com. Check out his podcast, Worcester's Good But Hurts. One of the best podcasts out there. Just so much fun. A joyful exploration of all the horrible things that happen around here. Your latest episode, talking to some of the organizers at the Starbucks.
Yeah,
in
that was
town
good.
that you recently voted to unionize. Incredible. So
Good
support
for them.
those specific stores and no other Starbucks.
Yeah.
Just go in there and tip them. Don't even buy anything. Don't give Howard Schultz any money. Just throw money in the tip jar and then say goodbye. Brendan Melican, 508, a show about Worcester. Thank you, Brendan, as always, for being our permanent guest on the show.
Thank you for having me.
We love having you around. Check out my podcast, Parts Unknown. It's a wrestling podcast. We have done some great episodes lately. We just talked about myself and Will, my co-host. We went to AEW Dynamite in Boston last week. Had a great time. Talk about that. Write questions into Woo Comedy Week at gmail.com for Sean's column in Worcester Magazine, Bad Advice. He needs questions about horrible, dumb, stupid things to write columns about. It's a very fun column. He does an incredible job with it, but he needs more questions. So please, I'm begging you all to write Sean questions right now. Do it and read the newest one. It was just came out yesterday, I think.
And listen to Seltzer Time. New episode drops this Friday.
Monday night, guys. The stream is right here on this very channel. It goes great until sometimes one of us accidentally ends the broadcast. I'm not naming any names, but his name is Sean Connolly. But tune in for that. It was hilarious. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on. We got a lot of more stuff planned. Thank you all so much for coming out and hanging with us tonight. This was a quick one, but we got some long ones coming up. I assume no meeting next week. But we will be back in 2 weeks with everybody. So you got all the time in the world to send Travis ideas for memes. So we will not see you next Tuesday, but we will see you in 2 Tuesdays, everybody. We love you so much. Thank you. Good night.